The evening air carried the scent of possibility as Ryan twirled Sophia under the fairy lights. Their fingers intertwined with a familiarity that belied the rocky path they'd traveled. The music slowed, and for a moment, the world faded away, just a single dad and his former boss, now something far more meaningful. Neither could have predicted that an impulsive request at a corporate gala months ago would lead to this moment of perfect clarity beneath the stars. If you're joining me for this journey, I promise it's worth every minute. This is a story about second chances, unexpected love, and finding courage when it matters most. If you find yourself moved by Ryan and Sophia's story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that remind us how life's most beautiful moments often begin with the words, "What if?" 6 months earlier, Ryan Matthews rushed through his modest apartment, simultaneously attempting to knot his tie and calm his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. "Daddy, Emma's mom said she could braid my hair for the recital tomorrow. Can I go over after school?" Lily bounced on her toes, clutching her favorite stuffed unicorn. "We'll see, sweetie. Tonight's really important for Daddy's work," Ryan explained, checking his watch anxiously. The babysitter was late, and the quarterly corporate gala at Infinite Solutions was mandatory. After just 4 months as the company's new marketing director, he couldn't afford to make a bad impression. When the doorbell finally rang, Ryan breathed a sigh of relief. After giving Lily a kiss goodbye and leaving detailed instructions with the teenager who would watch her, he grabbed his keys and headed out. Ryan hadn't planned on becoming a single father at 34. 3 years ago, his wife Claire had walked out, leaving behind a devastated husband and a confused 4-year-old. "I wasn't meant to be a mother," she'd said, as if parenthood were a sweater you could simply return if it didn't fit right. The divorce papers had arrived 2 weeks later. Since then, Ryan had built his life around Lily, moving to Seattle for a fresh start and this promising position. The job was demanding, but the flexible hours allowed him to be there for his daughter's milestones. His boss, however, made those demands considerably more challenging. Sophia Chen had built Infinite Solutions from a startup to a major player in digital marketing in just 7 years. At 36, she had a reputation for brilliance matched only by her exacting standards. Ryan had spent his first months attempting to anticipate her needs while navigating single parenthood. Their relationship was strictly professional, sometimes tense, occasionally respectful, but never warm. The Emerald Ballroom glittered with Seattle's business elite when Ryan arrived. He smoothed his jacket, mentally rehearsing conversation starters with potential clients. As the newest director, he needed to prove himself worthy of Sophia's gamble in hiring him. "Matthews, you made it." Sophia appeared beside him, elegant in a deep blue gown that contrasted with her usual crisp business attire. "There are several clients I need you to speak with tonight." "Of course," Ryan nodded, following her through the crowd. He noticed she seemed distracted, her usual laser focus wavering as her eyes darted around the room. They were midway through a conversation with an important client when Sophia's posture suddenly stiffened. Ryan followed her gaze to a handsome man in a tailored suit who had just entered with a striking blonde woman. "Excuse me," Sophia smiled politely at the client. "I need to borrow Mr. Matthews for a moment." She pulled Ryan to a quiet corner, her composure cracking for the first time since he'd known her. "I need a favor." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "Okay." "The man who just walked in, that's James Harrington." "Your ex?" Ryan had heard office whispers about Sophia's high-profile breakup with the CEO of a rival agency 6 months earlier. "Yes." She took a steadying breath. "He left me for that woman, his creative director. This is the first time I've seen them since." Understanding dawned on Ryan. The untouchable Sophia Chen was human after all. "Dance with me," she said suddenly. "What?" "Dance with me. My ex is watching." Her voice dropped lower. "The reward is a kiss." Ryan stared at her, wondering if he'd misheard. "Ms. Chen, Sophia, I work for you." "It's just a dance, Matthews." Her eyes held a vulnerability he'd never seen before. I can't let him think I'm still broken. Ryan hesitated. Office relationships were complicated enough without adding his boss to the equation. He had Lily to consider, his job security, his carefully constructed life. You can do better than this, he said gently. You don't need to prove anything to him. Something shifted in Sophia's expression, surprise, then a flash of respect. You're right, she admitted after a moment. But I'd still appreciate that dance. As colleagues. No kiss required. Ryan smiled, offering his hand. In that case, I'd be honored. As they moved to the dance floor, Ryan couldn't help noticing how naturally Sophia fit in his arms. For someone so formidable in the boardroom, she followed his lead with unexpected grace. The music wrapped around them, creating a bubble of calm amid the corporate politics. You're good at this, Sophia commented, genuine surprise in her voice. Claire and I took lessons before our wedding, Ryan explained. One of the few things that stuck. Sophia's eyes softened. Your ex-wife? Ryan nodded, surprised she knew that detail about his life. For what it's worth, Sophia said quietly, she made a mistake. The simple statement caught Ryan off guard. Before he could respond, he noticed James watching them from across the room, his expression unreadable. He's looking, Ryan murmured. Let him, Sophia replied, but Ryan felt her tense slightly. Tell me about your daughter instead. Lily, right? The change of subject surprised him. You remember her name? I read personnel files very thoroughly, Matthews. A small smile played at her lips. How old is she? 7 going on 17, Ryan chuckled. She's obsessed with space right now. Wants to be an astronaut. Smart girl. The smartest, Ryan agreed, a proud father's smile spreading across his face. She asked for a telescope for her birthday next month. I've been saving up. Sophia studied him with curious eyes. It must be difficult, balancing everything alone. Some days, Ryan admitted. But she's worth every second. As the song ended, Ryan became acutely aware of how close they stood. For a fleeting moment, something electric passed between them, a possibility neither had considered before. Sophia stepped back first, professionalism sliding back into place like a well-worn mask. Thank you, Ryan. That was helpful. Anytime, boss, he replied, the formality of their relationship reasserting itself. But something had shifted that night, a door cracked open that neither could fully close again. The following weeks brought subtle changes. Sophia began asking Ryan's opinion more often, actually listening to his ideas instead of merely tolerating them. She approved his request to leave early for Lily's school science fair without the usual negotiation. For his part, Ryan found himself noticing details about Sophia he'd overlooked before, how she always remembered everyone's coffee order, the way she stayed latest when deadlines loomed, ensuring her team could go home to their families. 3 weeks after the gala, Ryan was working late, finalizing a presentation, when Sophia appeared in his doorway. You're still here, she observed. Just finishing up. Babysitter can stay until 9, Ryan explained. Sophia hesitated, then stepped into his office. I've been meaning to say something. Your campaign proposal for the Henderson account, it was exceptional. Thank you, Ryan said, surprised by the straightforward compliment. I've recommended you lead the pitch meeting next week. Ryan sat up straighter. That's a major opportunity. You've earned it. She paused. I should let you get back to your daughter. As she turned to leave, Ryan called after her. Sophia? She looked back, eyebrow raised. Would you like to get coffee sometime? To discuss the Henderson pitch, he added quickly. A moment's silence stretched between them. That would be appropriate, she finally said, but the slight smile playing at her lips suggested she understood the invitation's subtext. Their coffee meeting extended well beyond the Henderson pitch, wandering into conversations about their backgrounds, ambitions, and perspectives. Ryan learned that Sophia's parents had immigrated from China when she was 10, that she'd worked 3 jobs to put herself through college, that she collected vintage vinyl records. She listened intently as he shared stories about Lily, offering insights without the judgment he'd grown accustomed to from other women when they discovered he was a single father. "She sounds remarkable," Sophia said, after Ryan recounted Lily's recent school presentation on black holes. "She'd like you," Ryan found himself saying. "She respects strong women. Says she wants to be the boss someday." Sophia laughed, a genuine sound Ryan realized he'd rarely heard. "Smart girl. She clearly takes after her father." The compliment lingered between them, weighted with unspoken potential. By the time Ryan successfully landed the Henderson account, he and Sophia had developed a comfortable rhythm of coffee meetings and lunch discussions that blurred the line between professional and personal. Ryan found himself looking forward to these moments, while simultaneously maintaining careful boundaries. Sophia was still his boss, and his priority remained providing stability for Lily. The complications of their evolving relationship came into sharp focus on a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Ryan received a call from Lily's school. His daughter had fallen during recess, possibly fracturing her wrist. He was in the middle of a critical client meeting with Sophia when his phone buzzed. "I'm so sorry," he said after taking the call, anxiety written across his face. "Lily's hurt at school. I need to go," Sophia said immediately. "I'll handle things here." Ryan hesitated. "The Westridge presentation can wait," she finished firmly. "Your daughter needs you." The relief on Ryan's face was palpable. "Thank you. I'll make this up." "Ryan," Sophia interrupted, her voice gentle. "Just go." Hours later, after the emergency room confirmed a minor fracture requiring a cast, Ryan sat beside Lily's bed, watching her finally sleep. His phone buzzed with a message from Sophia, "How is she?" He typed back, "Small fracture. She's sleeping now. Pink cast, her choice. Thank you for today." The response came quickly, "Children are resilient. Get some rest." Ryan stared at the message, touched by her concern. He was about to put his phone down when another text appeared, "The Henderson presentation is postponed until Friday. Take tomorrow off." "That's an order." The following afternoon, Ryan was helping Lily decorate her cast when the doorbell rang. Opening the door, he found Sophia standing there, looking uncharacteristically uncertain in jeans and a casual sweater, holding a gift bag. "Sophia," he said, surprised. "What are you?" "I hope this isn't inappropriate," she interrupted. "I just thought." She lifted the bag slightly. "It's for Lily." Ryan stepped back, inviting her in. "That's incredibly thoughtful." Lily looked up curiously from the couch as they entered. "Daddy, who's that?" "Lily, this is Ms. Chen. She's Daddy's boss at work," Ryan explained. Sophia moved forward, smiling warmly. "You can call me Sophia. I heard you had an accident. I brought you something that might help pass the time while your arm heals." Lily accepted the bag with her good arm, her eyes widening as she pulled out a beginner's astronomy book and a star projector. "Wow! Daddy, look! It makes stars on the ceiling." "That's amazing," Ryan said, genuinely touched by the thoughtfulness of the gift. Sophia had clearly been paying attention to his stories about Lily's interests. "My father gave me one when I was about your age," Sophia told Lily. "I used to pretend I was floating through space." Lily beamed. "Can we try it now? Please?" The next hour passed with the three of them sitting in Lily's darkened bedroom, watching constellations dance across the ceiling while Sophia pointed out different star patterns. Ryan watched in amazement as his normally reserved boss patiently answered Lily's endless questions about space and shared stories about her own childhood dreams of becoming an astronomer. When Lily finally began to tire, Ryan tucked her in for a nap, the star projector still casting a gentle glow across her room. "Thank you," he said quietly as he and Sophia returned to the living room. "You didn't have to do that." "I wanted to," Sophia replied simply. She glanced around his modest apartment with interest. "You have a lovely home." "It's nothing special," Ryan said, suddenly aware of how different it was from what he imagined Sophia's sleek downtown condo might look like. "But it's warm." "That's what makes it special," she observed. Her eyes fell on the collection of photos displaying Lily's growth, from infant to little girl. "You've done an incredible job with her, Ryan." "I'm figuring it out as I go," he admitted. "Some days are better than others." Sophia turned to face him fully. "I admire you, you know. The way you prioritize her while still giving everything to your work. I'm not sure I could balance both so gracefully." "Gracefully might be an overstatement," Ryan laughed softly. "There's a lot of takeout and last-minute scrambling involved." A comfortable silence settled between them, filled with unspoken questions. "I should go," Sophia said finally. "Let you both rest." At the door, she paused. "Ryan." "Yes?" "Would it be completely inappropriate if I asked to see Lily again sometime?" Her usual confidence wavered. "Perhaps we could all have dinner. The three of us." The question hung in the air, its implications extending far beyond a simple meal. "I think Lily would love that," Ryan said carefully. "And so would I." Something warm flickered in Sophia's eyes. "Good. That's good." After she left, Ryan leaned against the closed door, trying to understand the emotions swirling through him. For the first time since Claire left, he found himself imagining possibilities beyond his carefully structured life as a single father and dedicated employee. The thought was both exhilarating and terrifying. Their first dinner together became a weekly tradition. Sophia would arrive with dessert or a new book for Lily, and the three would share meals that gradually evolved from takeout to home-cooked efforts they prepared together. Ryan discovered Sophia was a surprisingly good cook, having learned from her grandmother. Lily quickly grew attached to Ms. Sophia, delighting in having another adult who took her seriously and answered her questions about the world with patience and respect. For her part, Sophia seemed to relax in their presence, the weight of her corporate persona lifting to reveal a woman with a quick laugh and genuine warmth. At the office, they maintained professional boundaries, but their colleagues couldn't help noticing the easy rapport that had developed between them. The whispers started slowly, curious glances when they arrived at meetings together, raised eyebrows when Sophia publicly praised Ryan's work, speculation when they were spotted having lunch outside the office. Ryan tried to ignore the gossip, focusing instead on the growing connection between them and the way Lily blossomed under Sophia's additional attention. 4 months after the gala, Ryan arrived at work to find James Harrington in Sophia's office. Through the glass walls, he could see their conversation was intense, Sophia's posture rigid and defensive. When James finally left, nodding curtly to Ryan as he passed, Sophia remained at her desk, staring at something in her hands. Ryan knocked gently on her door. "Everything okay?" Sophia looked up, her expression unreadable. "James wants to collaborate on the Meridian project." "That's unexpected." "It's strategic," she said flatly. "The merger would benefit both our agencies." She hesitated. "He's ending things with Rebecca." The unspoken implication hung in the air. "I see," Ryan said carefully, an unexpected pang of jealousy tightening his chest. "And what do you think about that?" Sophia placed what she'd been holding on her desk, a small framed photo Ryan recognized from her visit to his apartment. It showed the three of them at the planetarium, Lily beaming between them as they stood beneath a model of the solar system. "6 months ago, this would have been everything I wanted," she admitted quietly. "And now?" Ryan asked, his heart beating faster. Before she could answer, her phone rang, an important client she couldn't ignore. With an apologetic glance, she took the call, and Ryan stepped out, the question lingering unanswered between them. That evening, as Ryan helped Lily with her homework, his phone buzzed with a message from Sophia, "Can we talk?" Alone. They arranged to meet at a quiet park near Ryan's apartment after he'd settled Lily with a trusted babysitter. Sophia was already waiting on a bench when he arrived, her business attire replaced by casual clothes, her hair loose around her shoulders. "Thank you for coming," she said as he sat beside her. "Of course." Ryan studied her profile in the fading light. "About James." "I turned down the collaboration," she interrupted. "And I made it clear I'm not interested in rekindling anything with him." Relief washed over Ryan, followed quickly by uncertainty. "May I ask why?" Sophia turned to face him fully. "Because I've realized something these past few months. When James left, I thought I was mourning our relationship. But I was really mourning the future I'd planned, the timeline I'd created for myself." She took a deep breath. "I've always approached my life like a business strategy. Education by 22, director level by 30, CEO by 35. Marriage and possibly children were scheduled for somewhere in between." Ryan listened intently as she continued. "When things didn't go according to plan, I felt like a failure. But then..." She hesitated. "Then I met you and Lily. You showed me what really matters. How a life built on genuine connection is worth more than any strategic achievement." "Sophia. Let me finish," she said gently. "I care about you, Ryan. And I care about Lily. More than I thought possible. But I need to know if there's a place for me in your lives, not as your boss, not as Lily's friend, but as something more. And I need to know if that's something you'd even want." The vulnerability in her eyes touched something deep within Ryan. For 3 years, he'd focused solely on being a father, putting his own needs and desires aside. The possibility of letting someone new into their carefully balanced world was both thrilling and frightening. "Lily adores you," he said finally. "And I..." He paused, gathering courage. "I've fallen in love with you, Sophia. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't think it was possible after Claire. But here we are." Her eyes widened at his confession. "But," he continued, "this isn't just about us. Lily has to come first. She's already experienced one person walking away. I can't risk her getting attached if you're not certain." "I understand that," Sophia said earnestly. "And it's one of the reasons I respect you so much. But Ryan, I'm not going anywhere. What I feel for you both isn't temporary." Ryan reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers. "So where do we go from here?" "Forward," Sophia replied simply. "Together. One day at a time." The kiss that followed was gentle yet profound, a promise, a beginning. In the weeks that followed, they navigated their new relationship with careful consideration for both professional boundaries and Lily's feelings. At work, Sophia restructured the reporting lines so Ryan no longer reported directly to her, eliminating the most obvious conflict of interest. At home, they included Lily in conversations about what their changing relationship meant, answering her questions honestly and assuring her that her place in her father's heart remained unchanged. There were challenges, of course. Ryan sometimes struggled to reconcile the Sophia he knew privately with the formidable CEO who commanded respect in the boardroom. Sophia had to learn to share decision-making and adjust her independent lifestyle to include a child's unpredictable needs. Lily tested boundaries, occasionally acting out when she felt her position threatened. 2 months into their relationship, a major crisis arose when Claire unexpectedly reappeared, claiming she wanted to reconnect with her daughter. The wounds of abandonment Ryan had worked so hard to help Lily heal threatened to reopen. During this tumultuous time, Sophia proved her commitment, providing steady support without overstepping as Ryan navigated the complex legal and emotional landscape of his ex-wife's return. When Claire eventually returned to her new life in California, after realizing that motherhood still didn't fit her plans, Lily turned to Sophia one evening with tear-stained cheeks. "Are you going to leave too?" the little girl asked directly. Sophia knelt to meet Lily's eyes. "I can't promise that life won't change, Lily. But I can promise that any changes we face, we'll face together. I choose to be here, with you and your dad, every day." The simple honesty of that answer seemed to satisfy Lily more than any elaborate reassurance could have. As summer approached, bringing Lily's 8th birthday, Ryan found himself planning not just a celebration but a future. On a warm evening, while Lily was at a friend's sleepover, he and Sophia sat on his apartment balcony, stargazing with the telescope they'd given Lily together. "I've been thinking," Ryan said, his heart racing. "About us." Sophia looked up from the telescope. "That sounds serious." "It is." He took her hand. "I love you, Sophia. More than I thought possible. These past months have been the happiest Lily and I have had in years." "I feel the same way," Sophia said softly. "Our lease is up next month," Ryan continued. "And I know it might seem fast, but I wondered if you'd consider us finding a place together. Something that could be ours, all three of ours." Sophia's expression turned serious. "Ryan, are you sure? That's a big step." "I'm sure about you," he said simply. "About us. Lily needs stability, and I think we've proven we work well as a team." A slow smile spread across Sophia's face. "I would love that. But..." She hesitated. "What is it?" "I've been offered a position in the San Francisco office, leading the international division." Ryan's heart sank. "When did this happen?" "Last week." "I haven't given them an answer." Sophia squeezed his hand. "It's an incredible opportunity, but Ryan, you and Lily are here. Your lives are established in Seattle." Ryan was quiet for a long moment, processing. "What do you want to do? Honestly?" Sophia looked up at the stars. 5 years ago, I would have taken it without hesitation. 3 years ago, after James, I would have seen it as an escape. But now..." She turned back to him. "Now I realize there are different kinds of success. Different ways to grow. We could make it work long distance," Ryan offered, though the thought pained him. "If this is what you want." "That's just it," Sophia replied. "I don't want distance. Not from you or Lily." She took a deep breath. "I'm going to decline the offer." Ryan studied her face. "Are you sure? I don't want you to resent us someday for holding you back." "You've never held me back, Ryan. You've shown me a fuller version of myself." She smiled. "Besides, I've been working on something here, a new division focused on family-oriented brands. The board approved it yesterday." Relief and joy surged through Ryan. "That sounds perfect for you." "For us," she corrected. "I was hoping you might consider co-leading it with me." The offer stunned him. "You want us to work together?" "We make a good team," she said simply. "In every way." In that moment, Ryan knew with absolute certainty that he wanted to build a life with this extraordinary woman who had transformed from intimidating boss to beloved partner. They found a house with a backyard large enough for the puppy Lily had been begging for and a spare room Sophia converted into a home office they shared. The transition wasn't seamless, merging two established lives never is, but the challenges they faced only strengthened their bond. 6 months after moving in together, they gathered friends and family for what guests believed was a housewarming party. As the evening progressed, Ryan called for everyone's attention, Sophia and Lily standing beside him. "We invited you here under slightly false pretenses," he admitted, smiling at the confused faces. This isn't just a housewarming. He turned to Sophia, taking her hand. When you asked me to dance with you that night, neither of us could have imagined where it would lead. You came into our lives unexpectedly, but you've become essential to them, to us. Dropping to one knee, he revealed a ring. Sophia Chen, will you marry me? Tears glistened in Sophia's eyes as she nodded. Yes. Absolutely yes. As applause erupted around them, Lily tugged at Sophia's hand. Does this mean you'll be my mom now? Sophia knelt to the girl's level. Only if you want me to be. But no matter what, I'll always be someone who loves you. Lily threw her arms around Sophia's neck. I'd like that. Under the same fairy lights that had witnessed their first dance, Ryan and Sophia swayed together, their future spreading before them like constellations, bright, infinite, and full of possibility. So if you find yourself wondering whether second chances are worth the risk, whether love can find you when you've stopped looking, or whether families can be built rather than simply born, remember Ryan and Sophia. Remember that sometimes, the most beautiful journeys begin with a simple invitation to dance. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more tales of love, courage, and the families we create along the way. Because in life, as on the dance floor, it's not about the perfect steps, it's about finding the right partner to move with you through the music.